These are the pile options, pile number 1, 2, 3, and in today's video we are going to see what angels wants you to know. Okay, so in this video we are going to see pile number 1. If you want to see 2 or 3, you can select the link given to you in the description down below. So yeah, without further ado, we'll just start with pile number 1. Guardian angel, please help me. Thank you. Okay, so we have these two cards, which is Ace of Cups and Three of Pentacles, along with two of uh, sorry, what? Why? Along with the Lovers in the bottom of the deck. Ooh, my God. Okay, so everybody who is watching pile number 1, you are worried about not having a love life in your life. Okay, so um you know how some people are worried about not having enough money. Some people are worried that they won't be able to provide. uh, just a second, I don't know what this is. What is this? Yeah, I just needed this to, like, that's kind of irritating me a little bit. I just need to um keep it aside. Ooh, I did keep it aside successfully. Never happened like that before. Sometimes the table space is kind of less, that's why. Okay, just a second. So yeah, I think you are worried about not having a love in your life, okay, and therefore you are doing self-love practice. Okay, so I think this is what angels want you to know, that your power kind of lies in you. Pile number 1, your power lies in you. It's never about you should have a love life, then only you can be happy. You should have a love life, then only you can feel fulfilled. Some of you don't even have these thoughts outright on your conscious mind, but you do have something to work on in your like through your subconscious mind. Maybe it was like very, very deep in your inner child wound. It could be some shadow work, but in all honesty, I don't think the shadow work or inner child healing is going to help for you. What is truly going to help for you, by number 1, is medical health professional. There are therapists, there are counselors, and yes, there are some counselors who are so kind enough to help you out even with the stress factor. And yeah, just like go for them and talk to them, and you'll understand so many things about yourself, because these people actually works on your subconscious mind. Like, they uncover what is going on in your subconscious mind. They have the degree, they have studied for like 7 years straight. Okay, at least like the studies that I know of. By the way, there are some counselors, especially in India, who are who are practicing counseling in the medical sector. Like, they are a medical health professional while having just a certificate program or a certificate course. Okay, so that's kind of legal in India, but I would not recommend that for you guys. I would recommend you to go for a full-fledged counselor, because that is going to help you out so much. Like, like if you have any subconscious issue, like wiring or something, then that the counselor is going to help you understand what that thought pattern is. And then also, if the wires are kind of tangled or something, like the counselor is going to help you, like, put every thread straight one by one, so you will have an untangled, cleared thought. And once that happens, everything will be all right. Some of you have already experienced something related to the third party situation, and I think that's from there on the concept of love is kind of broken for you. Like, you know how some people say love is, you know love is hurt. That's the definition that they have given. Love equals hurt. Like, if there is love, obviously there is hurt. Or love is compromising. If there is love, I have to compromise. I have to give everything to the other person. But that's not true. The truest form of love is where you are yourself, and like, where the other person is themselves, and then you just come into such a harmony that you will have what you want, and not even by compromising or by paying them to get what you want. Does that make sense? Like, not by giving something to the other person, then only you will get what you want, right? That's not the truth. Okay, so that's what angels are kind of acknowledging over here as well. Okay, so you are working on self love. Angels are saying kudos to that. Um, but don't work on self love while thinking about, achieving love. I need to achieve love in my life, therefore I'm doing this. I need to achieve love in my life, therefore I'm doing this. Therefore I'm, like doing self work or something. Obviously, that could be the motivation why you have started it, but that could not be the only thing that you need to chase, or only like decision. Like that shouldn't be. Just a second, I'll come back. Here I am once again. That's a Victoria's Secret. Sorry, not Victoria something. It's a Victoria's song. That's, if you know about that show. Here I am once again, feeling lost, but now and then. So, I said that. Okay, so this is. Listen to me. You need love in your life, and that's all right, and that's okay. But when you're doing self love, okay, not every decision should be based on this. Okay, for example, I need love in my life, so I should always be looking my best, and that's like, like grooming yourself is one part of self love, isn't it? Just a second. Yeah, grooming yourself is one part of self love. So if I groom myself, will I get love? If the answer is yes, I think then only you go for it, like grooming, right? And there's other thing like, you know what, if I meditate, then maybe I'll have love. You know what, meditation is good, but why should I meditate on the money topic? Because if I'm like, meditation will obviously give me love, right? Check mark. So if it is a check mark, then money meditation, sorry, meditation in itself, that's what you're going to do. And being career focused and career ambition is not what comes under love. That's not what love has anything to do with. So you know what, I would rather not focus on my career. Okay, and then there's another, but thinking about your career is also the part of self love. Does that make sense? And then there is another thing like, like for example, you feel like doing shadow work for yourself in terms of money. You know what, even if I do the shadow work based for money, will that be beneficial for me in order to get love? If not, the money meditation is not what I'm going to do. Okay, not what I'm going to do. This is kind of blurring out. I'm so sorry about the camera, but you get the gist, right? Every decision of yours right now at this very moment is based on love, like whether you'll get the love or not. And again, for a lot of you guys, file number one, this is happening on a subconscious level, which is much more dangerous. You're like, no, that's not happening to me, but that's exactly happening to you, and you are not able to even decipher it. You are not even able to understand yourself better at this point of life. So like, if you want to practice self love, do it because you want to practice self love. Whatever comes under self love, you do that. Like whether it is money meditation, whether it is career, whether it is finding love, okay, whatever it is, like, let this be the base of everything, not this, like not wanting love to be the base of everything. Does that make sense? That's what kind of like one of the messages is from angels. Sure, like kudos to you to be in this practice of self love. You are on the right path. Angels are not saying you are not. Angels are also like telling you an add on kind of a message, like cherry on top kind of a message of how you can be, like, you are good now, how you can be more good. Does that make sense? So that's what angels are saying. Angels are acknowledging your effort. Angels are saying kudos to it. And angels are saying that you have come very far from where you were in the past. Okay. Okay. Coming to that topic, you have come very fast. Sorry, you have come, you are now a very different person from what you were, who you were before. Okay. We have Three of Pentacles over here, which is definitely reflecting on, again, this is all the love message that I can sense. This is definitely either reflecting on parents issue, because Three of Pentacles in original, um, form means mother, father, and the child. Okay, if it comes to human beings, right? But since it is three human beings, we are also representing it nowadays as third party situation. So I believe that some of you have had dealt with some type of a third party situation. And before this, file number one, I think you have forgotten. I think you are not able to understand how far you have reached, like you are even having progress at this point of life, because it's like, I think you're too focused on working on yourself and stuff like that, that you are not even pausing to think that, you know what, maybe this is, like, maybe I'm on the right path, maybe I have received something, right? Your brain is telling you constantly that, you know what, I haven't received anything, let's look at this situation, the Three of Pentacles is still in my head, this is still hurting me, like what am I doing, right? What am I doing? I'm not even moving on from that thing. Like, get a hold on, get a move on. Like, I think you guys scold yourself a little bit or criticize yourself a little bit eventually, like, you know since you are into self-love practice, I think you don't do it actively, but every now and then you do have that side of you coming out. Okay, so that's what I can see, and angels want you to know and want you to reflect on this card. Now, yes, you are thinking about the third party situation, but you know what, the tone of how you're thinking about the third party situation has is very different from what it was before. Okay, before, in the past, Angel wants you to remember, in the past, you were in the Five of Cups situation. Okay, you thought that this third party, this person who has done a third party situation, was the only hope of love that you will ever receive, and therefore you used to think that, them going out of your life is a bad news. Does that make sense? You were sad, you were heartbroken that they left. You felt that it is a loss, a good thing has lost from your life. That's what you thought in the past. But now you can see it very clearly, file number one, that it's not about logical seeing. Okay, it's not about logical perception over here. What I'm talking about here is your emotional perception. Okay, like emotionally in the past, even emotionally in the past, if you would have known um that the third party was wrong, for example, my partner did the wrong thing, my boyfriend did the wrong thing, I shouldn't be with them, like, let's say partner. Okay, I shouldn't be with them, but emotionally, okay, emotionally you were like still hung up on that person and still missing that person and still crying for that person, right? As if that person was the good person, right? That's what was your emotional reaction. And now emotionally you have calmed down so much that it is affecting you in a very positive way. That now you are thinking about the third party situation over and over. Yes, that's right. Don't have to worry about it. But you know what? You are not missing that person. You are not thinking that they were right to do the third party situation, or you are not thinking that what you have lost is a good thing. Okay, so that's, wow, that's such a strong message I'm sensing for you, and I'm a little bit jealous for your revelation, pile number one, because I think I haven't reached this part. Okay, in my personal life, I have been someone who has experienced third party situation as well, but I am a person who thinks that, I think, like, I have spoken about it out loud, but you know what? You don't need to know. But you are very, very far away. Okay, let me tell you this: you are very far away, very far ahead from where you were before. Okay, so kudos to that, and take a moment to congratulate yourself. Little tip: if you need to, just now, right now, a small exercise. Pause the video. Go. Like, don't even pause the video, take the mobile phone with you. Okay, if you're in the office place or public place, go to the nearest washroom where there will be a mirror. Okay, and if you're in your home, okay, go to the mirror and watch yourself see yourself in the reflection and tell yourself congratulations for coming so far away. Far ahead. I don't know. I think I'm not using the right words at this point, but you get the gist, right? You understand what I'm trying to say, right? So just say that. Congratulations to you. Okay, congratulations to you. So this is Bhagavad Gita book. So I keep it with me all the time in tarot deck. Sorry, tarot desk. Um, so let's see what Shri Krishna wants to say to you. If you're interested in this, you can listen to this. If you're not, you can ignore it, no problem. Um, but I would rather ask you to listen to this and then decide whether this is resonating with you or not. Okay? Because even if Shri Krishna doesn't resonate with you, I think the messages could or could not resonate. That we can't know. Okay. So we have one should lift oneself by one's own efforts and should not degrade oneself. For one's own for one's own self is one's friend and one's own self is one's enemy. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Two things hit me. Okay, the first thing that hit me was one's own self is one's friend. Okay, so you are your best friend, and part number one, you are your lover, the lover that you were seeking outside of yourself, the romantic connection that you were seeking outside of yourself. Angels are telling you, you are that lover of yourself, right? It's so sweet. I wanna cry. I mean, I don't know. I won't be even surprised if one of you is crying, part number one. I think I might be picking up on that energy as well. As an energy channeler, it's just sometimes non-understandable whether it's my energy or yours. Okay, so yeah, just take what resonates. And then we have, and one's own self is one's enemy, and one's own self is one's enemy is the message that angels are asking you to reflect upon. It's not a very like negative villainous enemy, okay, so don't worry about that. But angels are asking you to reflect upon these two things of like how you're practicing self-love. Okay, you are doing a good job, but just don't base everything on a romantic connection. Like if this if this is what is going to give me a romantic connection, then I'll do it. If not, then I won't. I will ignore it. Like don't do that. That's the first thing. Because if the moment you think that you yourself are not worthy of self love, you are only worthy of self love if you want a love in your life. That's a very like different kind of a thought pattern. Okay, I know that I didn't say it right, but if you understood what I'm saying, just uh please write in the comments down below if you don't mind. um when you're thinking that you need to have love in your life, only then you're worth it. Okay, that's when you have this thought pattern of practicing self love in order to have love. Okay, but when you think that you are worth it because you are alive, because you're an amazing person, the way it is, right, the way you are, and even with your flaws and even with your imperfections, you are perfect. This is divinely orchestrated. God, if God didn't wanted you to be this way, God wouldn't have made you this way. Trust me with that, okay? And once you understand that you are worth it and you deserve self-love, and coming from that point of, you know, coming from that standpoint of why you're practicing self-love, it's a very different thing, okay? So angels want you to know about the difference between these two and follow self-love just because you are worth it, okay? I hope you understood what I'm saying. Just let me know in the comments down below. um I just sensed a very strong negative energy just now. Even if you didn't understand, let it go, because it's fine. You are getting what you need to from the star reading. Angels are, and Shri Krishna is making sure of it. Okay, then we have Three of Pentacles. Angels are again asking you to reflect on how far you have come in terms of, oh, I just channeled this song How Far I'll Go by Moana. I don't know why. Anyway, so yeah, angels are asking you to reflect on how much the progress has happened, and think do not compare your current self to your fantasy self and think that, you know what, in like I should have just completely moved on from this person by now. No, 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 no. No human being is ever going to be completely moved on from anything. And if anyone has ever said something like that on the internet or in person to you, they are clearly lying. Okay, just trust me. I know, and it's been my in my personal experience and a big lesson in my life that some people do like lie about their spiritual growth and stuff like that. So I just know that, if someone is saying that, you know what, I decided to move on and boom, I moved on, like if anyone is saying something like that, that's probably not true. So you don't have to be hard on yourself based on that untrue experience. Just be proud of your true experience and your truth right now. File number one is you have come so far along. Okay, you might have been in the five of cups situation, especially for those of you who have done a tarot reading in the past. Especially, I think some of you have been my client who is watching this video. I'm just channeling that. For a personal reading, you might have noticed Five of Cups, and now it's Three of Pentacles. Now you know that what you have lost was not actually even a loss. Was not a loss. Sure, that was like a loss, sure, like obviously, but that wasn't a good thing that has lost from you. That was like a non good thing that was lost from you. Okay, or a bad thing, or a pathetic thing. Name it whatever. Okay. Then we have Shri Bhagwan said, Bhagwan means God, for those of you who need it. Shri Bhagwan says, He who does not he who does his duty without expecting the fruits of action. Amazing. Amazing. I couldn't have put it in a better words. He who does his duty of self love without expecting the fruit of action of having a romantic partner in their life. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Wonderful. Um, Bhagwan Shri Krishna said, "He who does his duty without expecting the fruit of action is a sannyasi, sankhya yogi, and a yogi, karma yogi, both." Um, you don't need to know what this means because I can't like find that right now. It's a weird one, and he is no sannyasi renouncer who has merely renounced the sacred fire. Even so, he is no yogi who has merely given up all activities. Just a second, let me decipher this one. I'm kind of hung up on karma yogi and um, sankhya yogi. I don't remember what is sankhya yogi, but I think karma yogi is a person who is action oriented person. Okay, sannyasi. Uh, I'm not really sure what is a sannyasi either. So, like, oh yeah, here there's sannyasi here, and sannyasi in the into bracket we have renouncer. Okay, we have renouncer. Okay, you know what? Let's read it once again. Bhagwan, Shri Bhagwan said, "He who does his duty without expecting the fruit of action is a sannyasi and a yogi, which is karma yogi, or both. He is no sannyasi who has merely renounced the sacred fire. Even so, he is no yogi who has merely given up all activity." So, I think there's a message of balance over here, which I'll explain to you just now. Guys, I'm a sucker for book. I have a board, but it's like a children's board, which I can happily use. But anyway, we have Shri Krishna is telling me there's a balance of everything. Okay, one is this extreme, one is that extreme, and the balance of everything is um, he who does the action or his duty without the fruit of action. Okay, without like doing action without thinking whether they will get a reward out of it or not. but they are doing action because action what they are supposed to be doing at this very point of time. Does that make sense? Like action in itself is their duty, and that's why they are fulfilling their duty. In your case, I think self love is your duty. By number one, I won't like speculate right now what this means, but it could be self love. Okay, it could be self love, but I'm cutting this out because for some of you, your duty is something else as well. So yeah, do your duty without thinking of what is whether there will be a reward for your duty or not. Okay, so that is the balance in an action. In the extreme end of the balance is where you're thinking that, you know what, I would not do any actions at all. Okay, and that's what is the opposite of karma yogi, um which is over here, which is saying it's my camera is weird again, right? Let's a second. um Even so, he is not a yogi who has merely given up on all activity. However, in this is where I'm having a trouble because renouncer is a word that I'm not really familiar with. But if you're familiar with it, good. If not, you can do your own Google research. But who may, it's not kind of in this extreme is a person who doesn't do any action at all. You know, like if you in the self love concept, like if you're thinking, please don't mind giving if I'm giving you this example. If you're thinking, oh, so what's the point of not doing anything for love? If I'm not going to get love out of the self love meditation, I would rather drop it. I would rather not do it. So that's what this extreme is talking about, versus this extreme is talking about something really different. It's talking about sacred fire. If you are someone who renounce, if someone is someone who, if someone renounces, okay, their sacred fire, that's renouncing of the sacred fire. It comes over here, and inactivity comes over here, and this is the balance of everything, which is what Shri Krishna is talking to you about. Okay, I know I didn't do a very good job explaining it because I didn't understand the whole thing myself. That's okay, because I have understood that whatever messages has to come to you, you will get it, and you will know how to like apply it in your life. Like as a tarot reader, my job is to just explain how much ever I can, and as like whoever are my clients, they just know what I'm talking about. um okay, so that's it, I guess. Let's see if there is any other messages. Guardian angels, Shri Krishna. In the practice of seeing Brahma everywhere as a form of sacrifice, Brahma is the ladder with which the obligation is poured into the fire, etc. Brahma again is the obligation. Brahma is the fire. Brahma is fire. Brahma itself is. I'm so sorry. I was just thinking that I think a lot of like foreigners won't be able to understand this concept. Only Hindus, or yeah, I think only Hindus will be able to understand. Anyway, in the practice of seeing Brahma everywhere as a form of sacrifice, Brahma is the ladder with which the oblation is poured into the fire, etc. Brahma again is the oblation. Brahma is the fire. Brahma itself is the sacrificer. And so Brahma itself constitutes the act of pouring the oblation into the fire. And finally, Brahma is the goal to be reached by himself, who is absorbed in Brahma as an act of such sacrifice. Brahma is the goal to be reached by him who is absorbed in Brahma as an act of such sacrifice. You know, all I like, all I really want to say to you, by number one, take what you can take from it. For those of you who didn't understand what it was talking about, we have something called puja in our culture. So let's say we have this as an observation, whatever. We don't say it as an observation, but there's a pit, okay, and there is fire, okay. So in order to keep the fire on, what we do is we have, let's say, a spoon, okay, a ladle in this example. We take the ghee or oil from the ladle and put it inside of this pit, so the fire is still burning, okay. So what that phrase just now said is that the oil is Brahma, the ladle is Brahma, the pit is Brahma. Okay, Brahma is a god, the creator. Okay, the creator god of the universe. Okay, so yeah, this is Brahma, and the fire in itself is Brahma, and the act of taking the oil or ghee from this place to putting it on fire is Brahma in itself. So the ultimate goal is kind of like that's it. Like Brahma, it starts from Brahma, it ends from Brahma, something like that. So yeah, I can't even like open that page up, but you can read it once again. I think you'll understand whatever the ultimate goal is at the end. You'll know what to learn from it. Okay, you know what? I'll just cut off. Thank you, Shri Krishna. Um, okay, namaste. This was it for you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.